Yeah, these one peas, they stayed up throughout the night, and
Do you think they were going to collapse?
no, but like you said, you were concerned about them sagging,
Oh yeah,
and
it
they
was
didn't
just
have a sag at all.
a little breeze last night, I think. So, all right, we are on the mountain with Brian Call, aka Gritty, and we took him up here a couple days. We're just doing some business stuff, but we wanted to show him the prototype. Not actually, not even the prototypes, the pre-production samples of our new 6-person and 1-person solitude shelters. So we're just going to walk around. He's going to give us his first impressions and
Yeah.
see what he thinks.
Well, first of all, it this thing is a castle. I mean, it's spacious. I also liked, climbing inside last night. It's very open and tall, and I mean, it almost feels, it's pretty luxurious. But I actually really like how you have so many doors.
Yeah,
There's like 4 doors on this thing.
3, but yeah.
Okay, so there's like one in the back.
Yeah, so the back one, it's not our traditional
Okay,
stress-free door.
yeah,
It's a vertical door.
but
But
completely opens it up for airflow and
yeah, if you want, I mean, also if you were perched on something and wanted to be able to glass out of this,
yeah,
you could undo that,
just
tie
open
them
it.
off and just open it up. But the main reason was that we thought, we want 2 egress doors in the living space side, the front side.
Yep.
But if all your gear's in there
Hmm.
and the stove is in there, you don't want to climb over all that gear to get the wood, right? So this
Yeah.
is like a door you can just unzip, pile all your wood there, zip it closed, and not have to really use it again
Yep.
if you don't want to.
Yeah. Well, and that's really important. When you're getting wood, the last thing I want to do is crawl over all my stuff to like get it up at the head.
Yeah.
So you have the stove jack on the same end, and no, it looks. I mean, we had some wind last night,
A little bit.
a little bit of wind, and it's not fully tied down,
Mm.
and it feels
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, the single point guy out. So, we took a lot of the features that we just really loved about the Solitude 4 teepee
Hmm.
and incorporated them into this bigger structure. So, the single point guy outs on the end, the cross trek stabilization, which we don't even have those in right now, but up in the top.
Hmm.
But then we added this new feature that we're calling the vert trek system, where a trekking pole can, on the inside, come up and brace these side walls
Right here.
if needed. Yeah, right there.
It's so stable.
Mm-hmm.
Between that and 2 trackers in the center and then tied down, it just seems like
It's a pretty.
it's a stout structure.
We just didn't believe originally that most of these big teepees like this can handle true backcountry storms, right?
Right.
Like they become just
Wind
sails and they
Yeah,
just
they
get
just kind of
hammered.
collapse and blow inward
Mm-hmm.
on one side. I've been in a number of them that
Yeah.
are big like this, and they really aren't capable of dealing with heavy winds very well.
Yeah.
I mean, a teepee structure in general does okay because the wind does find a way around it, because of the way it's shaped.
Yeah.
It'll hit it, but it'll still cave in one whole side
Yeah.
as the wind finds its way around.
Sure.
But man, this will be hard to leave behind for certain hunts,
Yeah.
especially if you know you're going to be in it a lot,
Yeah.
because it's not that much heavier
No.
given its size. Why
No.
is that?
I mean, number one, this fabric is actually pretty phenomenal for sil nylon fabric. It's just the lightweight. It's a 20D sil nylon, but it's just we went through, I don't know, 6 or 7 different fabrics, originally when we were trying to build that teepee, and this fabric's just so light and just still does so good at being strong. And I don't, it's about 4.5 pounds is what this teepee ends up being. If you add the floor to it, it's about 5.5 pounds. So you're adding about another pound for the floor, but
4.5 pounds, and you can really fit 6 dudes in here.
oh, it's, you know, if you didn't have gear in there for sure, I think you can easily fit 4 guys. I mean, you know, Brinker and I were on that side and you were on this side, and then there's still this whole space between kind of this vert trek and the wall.
Yeah.
And so all your gear could go there. So
There's a ton of room.
4 guys with all their gear,
Yep.
6 guys kind of without your gear. But, you know, the one thing we really tried to focus on, you see how steep this wall is right here where the single point guy out is. You know, if you were to imagine how much headroom in there is getting cut off on the traditional
Right.
line right there.
But because of this,
Because
it's
of this,
different.
you
Well,
can
and this one
fit
has
whole
a
guy right
nest,
here.
which I gotta admit,
Yeah.
given how buggy it is right here, like it's bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Between like the gnats and the skeeters. And having that nest, it is
Yeah,
super nice.
yeah.
If I'm backpacking, I can't deal with the nest.
No,
it's just
that's too much.
I
I mean,
can't
we
do
had
it.
plenty of guys to split it up, but
But about 4 pounds,
yeah,
you got 4 guys leveraging this. Ryan and I, there was a period where we both were of the opinion we would rather pack a larger structure as often as possible than a smaller, because especially if it was really rainy or a hunt where you get stuck in the shelter for sometimes 2 or 3 days at a time.
yeah.
This is it's pretty nice. My question with big structures like this is how they handle storms and wind and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And
Well, that was I mean, in designing this, that was like the criteria I gave Jason, you know, like make a 6P tent that's going to be able to handle unpredictable backcountry conditions.
this is the cleanest, tightest looking, 6-person teepee I've ever seen.
That's good to know.
I mean, you've seen them.
Oh, yeah.
This is especially if you had the trekkers in there right here.
Oh, yeah. Pushing that out a little
Like
bit.
people familiar with the solitude, they know exactly how that works.
Sure.
And to be able to hang all your wet gear
Oh,
up
yeah.
there and all of that, plus you
Yeah.
have your stove.
Yeah.
This is you're packing in with horses or llamas.
Yeah.
This is way better than a wall tent.
This is when we hunt with Mark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. But I do like this. Yeah, that in structure here, it's impressive. I could see too sleeping out under the stars with just the mesh. But yeah, this is a super innovative the way this trekker works right here. And you can feel how stiff it is. Like
Yeah.
it is doing some work, these trekking poles
Yeah.
on the side.
The crazy thing is that you don't lose headspace when you take that down, right? Because of that single point gal. Even though that's a wind brace structural support, like pull it out and you'll see that really you don't lose headspace at
wow.
all.
Wow.
So that's
Well,
there.
how did that?
We worked so hard on being able to maintain that design, the headspace there without the trekker through the single point guy out system.
Yeah.
But that's just there to help in case you get a real brutal storm, right? You don't really even need it.
Yeah, you pull that down and it's like it's still popped out with the guidelines.
Yeah.
Still giving you that space.
Yeah. So it does a little more, you get a little more headspace with it in, but it's mainly there for structural support.
I'm impressed. Now, there's only two other things I really am like, design is cool, but it's, how much it holds up in a heavy, heavy storm, and how much does it weigh?
Yeah.
Those are always like,
Yeah.
and for this size being just 4 pounds,
Yeah.
it's impressive.
It's pretty,
Yeah.
it really is.
There's plenty of room. Like, look at that. I mean, you're sleeping this direction all the way across.
Like I said,
And
if you needed to, you could do 3 guys this way and 3 guys that way, and you'd have 6 guys in here, even with a nest. Without the nest, it opens it up, just
yeah,
even that
you
much
can
more.
see. You could see, but at the same time, I'm thinking of this, and it's like last night I was sleeping on this end, and I need to take a leak,
Yeah,
and I got my own door.
you do.
And
Yeah.
then the guys over here have this door on this side.
Yeah.
And then I heard you open this door, and it's like that much access is pretty nice when you're in a big structure. You don't want to have to climb over everybody to get to the one door.
Right.
So I like it. I like it.
Plenty of vents at the top too. We really wanted to get good airflow. So you've got 3 different vents at the peak. Try to help. If you do get into a high condensation situation, it'll help maximize airflow.
Well, and I always
when
like
you're not running the stove at least.
this is why I like the dome doors too, because they act like a vent or a window. And when you have just the zip that goes up the whole side, I hate that design. It puts a lot of stress on the zipper and they break. But you can't just open it and peek out,
Yeah.
while you're, I way prefer this.
Well, let's go take a peek at the 1P. We'll look at lampers.
Man, this is gorgeous up here.
Yeah. Pretty incredible.
Nobody's here either. It's just,
We might get a few people throughout the day, but
yeah. Dude, that is just rock.
yeah.
Rock solid. I mean, this thing feels like it could withstand a hurricane. It is just,
It's
so sturdy.
yeah.
Because I was just up in Alaska, and these sheep hunters are packing some light shelters. But I was sitting there messing around, and I'm like, man, this just isn't that stout. It's not that stout. It feels like it'll just fall down in a heavy storm.
Yeah.
And you're cramped. You're really cramped. This thing is tight, Bryce. I mean, it is firm, tight. Lampers set it up and like so fast yesterday.
Yeah. I remember, so the purpose and the reason we built this was probably 3 years ago when you guys were first starting to run the Solitude. And you guys were going on some bear hunts in really steep country.
Yep.
I remember you guys coming home and saying, we need something that we can
Put on a deer bed.
Deer beds.
Like when you're up here on this hill and you're on an animal, and it's like, okay, I need to pitch. This is like tiny on a shelf. Look, and because, so some of the other designs, they go way out,
Yeah.
and they sort of just cover a spot. This is literally the width of your sleeping bag, gets you on that tiny shelf.
Yeah. Well, in the vertical back wall, right, we still knew you needed at least one vestibule for all your stuff.
Yeah.
But the more vertical back wall allows you to pitch this thing up against anything.
Yeah, I have a video.
Right,
I have a video showing this setting up on us, and because this isn't a vertical back wall on most designs,
Yeah.
when you have your shelf and you got your ledge right here, you have to tilt the shelter up and kind of let it sag over the top, and it creates all this excess material, and you can't pitch it right at the edge. If you do, it slopes, and your bed is too far off the bench, off your little deer bed or whatever you're pitching on.
Yeah.
This is like truly vertical. Like,
Yeah, it is.
you put it right on the bed,
Yeah.
and you're good to go.
Or up against a tree or whatever. And I mean, the other side is if you are in a spot where the terrain is coming in this way, right? We made this vestibule to where you can actually adjust this to match the terrain, right?
Yeah.
Like this can be pulled up, and you can like your vestibule can then just be like
tight right there.
right? Like if you have a hillside coming in or something.
Yeah, which is all
A
the
lot of
time.
times, yeah. So the ability to adjust this to match whatever that terrain is, right, and then stake it down, it's going to bunch that fabric up, but it's still going to allow you to just pitch this in a really tight place. So, yeah. And then if you're on fairly flat ground like this, then you just
It's got some crazy good features, dude, that makes this thing just really nice.
Yeah, the biggest challenge was how do you make a shelter this small and still make it roomy inside?
Well, and there's a lot of companies out there making a super lightweight shelter,
Yeah,
but they're literally a tarp almost,
yeah,
like just kind of over you.
sure.
And they don't have a lot of that durability
Yeah,
in a storm. And I don't like the wind ripping underneath. You know, this right here, wow. It's pretty sick, dude.
so
Wow. This
our
does not feel small.
it's amazing when you get in it. You're like, wow, this thing is huge.
And then if this is out here and you have this vestibule little space here, this is impressive.
You know
You
that.
got 2 vents.
Yeah, and the reason this works is that if you look at the, your foot box and your head area, it's this cantilevered design, right? Where we elevated those ends. You do have to stake them off, but there's a Delrin rod in there that creates vertical space for both your head and your feet. So again, where that normally would get cut off in a shelter like this, you just have so much more space.
Yeah, your head and your feet are not touching.
Not even close.
Not even close to bumping up on the sides here.
No.
Let me close this real quick. I want to see what this is like with the vestibule all the way extended. These bugs are serious business. Holy moly. That's a lot of room.
Yeah,
That's a lot of room.
For such a small footprint, it's pretty big. And the one thing we didn't want to do is have a single egress. So you've got that back as well if you need it. So pitch this in a really bad spot and you're like, I can't use the vestibule side as the door. You still can get in and out the other side. Yeah. Or if you're pitched on a really steep, outcropping, you can open that door wide open and this could be your little sunshade and you could just glass right out of this from the other side, just open it up.
Dude, this is very, very nice. It's just sturdy, dude. I've like I said, I've been messing around with some of these other shelters and they're light, but they're not this rigid. They're not that this feels rock solid. And also I feel like I said, you're not pitching it tight to the ground. There's a lot of, like right here, you could get away with, this thing pitches so well that if you don't have a liner inside, very few mosquitoes and stuff are going to find their way into this. Yeah. It's like sealed off.
Yeah. Run your thermocell a little bit just to kill anything that's in there.
Yep, your little backpacker version.
But you talk about ultralight. That's one thing that's really you know, we worked really hard on this shelter in particular. You're talking 18 ounces in the sil nylon version of this shelter.
Jeez.
Now you have to use your trekkers, or we will have carbon pole options
Sure.
that you can use in case, you know, obviously when you go out for the day, you want to take your trekkers with you. If you're a guy that's packing up every day and moving, you can just use your trekkers, no big deal. But if you're stationary, you can
Well, and
buy
a lot of guys
carbon
won't
poles.
even use, you know, they don't hunt with their trekkers day to
True.
day.
Yeah,
Depends on the type of hunt you're on, but
yeah,
still 18 ounces for the shelter
yeah.
in sil.
Insil, yeah.
So that Dyneema version is going to be
Uh, 12,
12 ounces
I don't
maybe.
know, 13 maybe. I don't know.
It's going to be right there at all that competitive weight that's out there. You know, I've seen some at 9 ounces and 10 ounces,
Yeah,
and I'm like, it doesn't have enough features. And
right.
for me, it's like 3 ounces more, and you get like a way better structure.
Yeah.
You start getting that minimal, and I get it. Like some guys, that's what they're doing. They're trying to get rid of 2 ounces, 3 ounces. But
Sure.
at that, I kind of feel like at that point, you know, you're giving up too much for 3 ounces.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Oh, I
leave.
think so. The features in this shelter for a 3 ounce difference, it's easily justifiable.
It is such a tiny footprint.
Yeah.
It is the smallest I've seen with the most room.
Yeah, it's crazy.
When I first saw this, when we tested out the prototype a couple years back,
Oh, the very first one.
you know, it was like, it was a neat idea. But now this, and seeing the structure, the height is impressive.
Yeah.
It truly, it's very tall.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these other ones are way down here, lower profile.
Yeah.
But despite that, it's so rigid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how this doesn't just crush a storm, dude.
Oh, I think it'll
Just
be great.
crush a storm. It's just like,
Well, and these, you know, not only do the ends act as like a way to open up the head space and the foot space, but they also are your guidelines supporting those sides. You know, you got the two guy lines off the ridge structurally supporting it this way, and then you've got the head and foot box on those ends supporting it that
Yeah.
way. You just
talking about competitors that are, you know, building a one-man shelter and their designs, this is quite different.
oh, it's very unique. Yeah.
And so why did you guys go this direction instead of sort of mimicking what you've seen out there?
I mean, that's just kind of our brand ethos, I think, more than anything, is like we just, number one, we just want to do things completely different. We want to start from scratch. We don't look at other shelters. We don't try to compare to other shelters. We just say, how does this thing need to function? Like it's a function first approach. And for this one, it was, how can we fit an actual livable one-man shelter in the smallest footprint possible? And how can you reimagine what that would be?
I mean, you have taken the footprint and you have like built a structure like that's exactly the footprint up.
Yeah.
I love this. This is, you don't see this in a lot of the competitors' products. You don't see the vertical wall
No.
in the back. And when you're on a deer bed and you're on a steep slope, this vertical wall is a game changer.
Yeah.
To be able to put it in the actual bench,
Yeah.
but have your tent not take up your space. Because when it comes out at an angle, your bench is only as wide as the deer, you know, or even if you take a pickaxe, like a Petzl ride or something, and you chop out a little extra space. When I was pitching on the steep hillside a few years ago, and I was doing a video on how to do it,
I remember that one. Yeah.
I'm like, man, I wish it just was vertical. Because you chopped a hole into a little bit, like you've gone down 12 inches and cleared all this dirt to try to widen the deer bed.
Bench, yeah. Yeah.
Well, now you have to try to pitch the teepee on top of that, or not the teepee, but the one man or two man shelter, because it goes over that. And I'm like, what you really need
There's a vertical
is a
wall.
vertical wall up
Yeah.
against that cut bank,
Mm-hmm.
and then everything else can kind of flow out over it, and you have this
Yeah.
beautiful setup.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
they
during
don't build them.
testing, I've pitched this right up against a tree too, right? Like you're like, wow, this is a great spot, but there's a
Well,
big tree right here, and you
here's the
just
thing. If you look at that video as well, almost all the deer beds,
are on the upside of a tree.
yes.
Yeah.
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 Sometimes they're on either side,
Yeah.
but they like to get right under those trees.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times, yeah, they're right there between the bank and the tree,
Mm-hmm.
and having having that ability to have a sheer wall right up against the tree, flip it around, or on the
Well,
other
that's
side.
that's the whole key, right? You have a tree here, say you need that vertical, but you have the hillside coming on this
Hmm.
side, that adjustable vestibule. You
Yep.
can just
If you
match it
if
to
you
the
have that
terrain.
tree, you adjust the vestibule upward
Yeah.
on the slope, and now you don't have to cut much into the bank at
No.
all,
Uh-uh.
and you can throw this shelter up.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to trim some limbs, but that's
Sure.
pretty simple. I
Yeah.
could see this. I got to mess around with it, man. Lately I've been on this hyper lightweight. I'm feeling like I want my pack to be lighter and lighter and lighter,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I've kind of got. I'm willing to leave a few more luxuries at home
Mm.
than maybe I was 5 years younger. But at the same time, I am enjoying like the idea for some of these fair weather hunts in August and even in the spring. The idea of a single man that's so lightweight gets me anywhere I want to go.
Well, we were talking with Dan Staten too, and showing him this, and he made a great point. He said, sometimes you do go on a hunt with a buddy, and normally you'd take the teepee.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, if you took two of these, and you all of a sudden decided, hey, I want
Yep.
to go over that ridge, you just split up,
Yep.
and it's the same. You're talking 36 ounces total for
Yeah.
two of them, and you can just split up and have your own space. Or if your buddy snores, or whatever it is, you've
Mm-hmm.
got two shelters that are spacious and livable,
Yep.
and you don't have to worry about splitting up. You can just go.
Yep. Yeah. Anything that's in that that gets around that 16 ounce, to have this be 18 in sill,
Yeah.
that's impressive. A lot of times, I'm like, well, what's the Dyneema price? Where's the Dyneema? But
Yeah.
the reality is, most guys aren't carrying the camera gear that I'm carrying and all the other stuff, and
Yeah.
so for them, they're like, why do I care about 3 more ounces or 5 ounces
Right.
in the between fabrics, especially
Well,
because Dyneema is so expensive.
yeah, I was just going to say that, the affordability. So,
And there is something about sill being, it just a little bit, it's pretty dang durable.
oh, it's very
I mean,
durable.
that fabric is just tough.
I mean, that's why we've done sill over, like a polyester,
Yeah.
is it's stronger. It does stretch a little bit, so you can tighten it up better even, and adapt it to terrain a little bit better than you can a poly or even a Dyneema, because they don't stretch.
This fabric, Lamper set it up yesterday. It ran all day and then all night. And then this morning, when it was cool and wet and damp, it didn't really sag much.
There wasn't much, yeah. I mean, it wasn't super dewy last night, but it stayed pretty tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I think you did a pretty amazing job here so far. Now I'm going to try and see if I can break it,
let's do it.
Yeah, dude. So when are these available?
August.
Really?
Yeah, mid August
Sick.
is what we're looking at. We were trying to get them out a little bit earlier in July, but just some logistical stuff. So they'll be August.
I want to kind of do some assistant. I'm going to go on a couple of sheep hunts. And
Yeah.
this is kind of required.
Yeah.
You got to get as light as possible and just cruise around. But I still want adequate shelter and protection.
Yeah.
And seems like it's nailed.
Yeah, it'll do it for sure. So, okay, thanks for checking them out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Very cool.